Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back to our Factorio playthrough. Before we start today, I'd like to discuss the design of our base a little bit. I've been messing around in the trusty Foreman app to start to take a look at what we're going to need to do our 5 rocket launches per hour, just so we can plan ahead and hopefully avoid the need to have to go back and add additional production to areas that we've already set up. If we can do it right the first time, that's obviously a much better situation. Since we're about to set up plastic, I was mainly interested in seeing how much plastic we're going to need. So what I did in the Foreman app, and I've covered this app a little bit in the tutorial as well. This is the Foreman app. I'm not using the Foreman mod in the game. I'm just using the app, which I think they're two different things from two different authors. I'm not sure. I haven't used the Foreman mod at all, actually. So, whoops. Let me, okay, this is paused now. Sorry, I should have paused this before we switched out. So, looks like all of our train research is done. I'll just leave it like that until we get done talking about our design. So what I did is I created these output nodes for the 3 different rocket parts: rocket fuel, rocket control unit, and low density structure. I set those at 1.4 per second. That's what we'll need for 5 rocket launches per hour. And actually this is even more than what we'll need, because we're going to use productivity modules in the rocket silo. So we won't need exactly that many. I think it works out to about 750 or 800 or something like that we'll actually need. But I figured I would leave it like this just so that we have a little bit extra, kind of a safety factor, if you will. So I put these at 1.4 per second. That's what we'll need to make to produce in order to make 5,000 an hour. And then I put 5 satellites an hour, which is almost nothing, compared to this other stuff, but I wanted to include all of it. Heavy oil and light oil, this added in automatically. Like I mentioned before, this app right now doesn't do a great job with oil production, so I'm going to pretty much ignore anything related to oil and oil processing and just look at our intermediate products and final products. Okay, so if we go down to plastic, this shows that we will need 12 chemical processing units making plastic bars, and we'll need 1 making sulfuric acid, 1 making sulfur. So that means that this one is not even going to be running at full speed, because you need actually 2 of these to feed sulfuric acid fast enough. So we need 1, we need 12 for plastic, and what else did I want to see? Oh yeah, and batteries. This says we need 3 batteries. I'm going to do more on batteries anyway, just because we're going to use a lot of batteries for solar panels and accumulators, not only in our rocket base, but also to set up the rest of the base. So I'll probably do 4 for battery production. And we also need a lot of batteries for research. Maybe we'll do 6. We'll see. Okay, so 12 plastic, 1 sulfuric acid, and we'll say 6 batteries. And you may notice here, I'm not considering speed modules. If you allow this to use all the speed modules, you end up with very different numbers. In this case, it would be half as many if we loaded these with speed module 3s. But remember that we're going for an environmentally friendly build, which means energy efficiency. So I'm going to be using efficiency modules in these machines. Anything that can take 2 or 3 modules, we're going to be filling with efficiency modules. Where we can use speed modules are on the assembly machine 3s, the green ones. Those are the fastest ones in the game. Those have 4 module slots. And so on those, because there's a minimum amount of energy savings you can get with efficiency modules. You can only get down to 20% energy consumption. And you can actually reach that with 2 efficiency module 2s. In the case of these, since they will accept up to 4 modules, we can put in 1 speed module 3, which will give us 50% more output. And then we can add 3 efficiency module 3s, and that will still get us down to the 20% power consumption, which is, the upper limit on efficiency. So on all these assembler machines, we're actually going to be planning to put in a speed module for 50% increase. There's no way in this app to tell it to use only 1 module. It either loads it completely with 1 type of module, and this one only considers speed modules. So when we look at these assembly machine numbers, we'll basically need to divide those by 1.5. So in the case of the green circuits, this says we need 25. If we divide that by 1.5 to reflect the 50% speed increase that we're going to have, we'll really need 17. And we'll probably just round that up to 18. No thanks. I'm not going to rate the calculator app, even though it's great. Okay, so there's that. Electric furnaces. We're going to need 141 for steel. That's a whole lot. If we expand them to 20 per side, like we were planning to do, that would be 40 per line. So we're basically going to need like 4 full steel lines. We're going to be burning through a lot of ore, that's for sure. So anyway, just wanted to go over this a little bit. So like I said, we could get an idea for what we need to set up now with our plastic and sulfuric acid, and we'll use this as a guideline going forward. So without further ado, let's get into the game and let's figure out what we're going to do for our next research. Let's do, well, no, we can't do blue science yet. We're still on red and green science, right? So we can do lab efficiency. That's a good one to have. Advanced electronics. Let's do lab efficiency, and then we'll do advanced electronics. Okay. Back to the game. I'm going to craft a few lights and get those into our hotbar. And I wanted to show you another cool little thing you can do with these lights as an indicator. If we expand this, okay, here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to expand this to 5 lights. Let me move this pole there. Okay, and then we're going to connect all of those. And I'll show you what I'm going to do here. We'll basically set up a little level meter. So right now we have this light set up to turn on if we have less than 4,000 petroleum. Now remember, this will hold up to 10,000. So what I'd like to do instead is have that first light turn on if we have more than 0. Okay, so if we have anything in the tank, that'll turn on. Or you know what, let's make it more than 100, because it'll probably never be completely empty. But if it is getting close to empty, then all the lights will be off. We'll set this one to turn, oh, hang on. To make this a little quicker, I'm just going to copy that to all of these, and then that way I can just change the number without having to select petroleum. We'll make this one turn on if we go over 2,000. We'll make this one turn on if we go over 4,000. $6,000 and $8,000. All right, so what we'll see here is that this will act as kind of a level meter. So as we get more and more petroleum in here, these bars will start to light up, and if we get over 8,000, they'll all be lit up. So that's a little cool thing that you can do. if anyone is interested to do that. I'm not going to set that up on these other ones. I just wanted to show you that. I like doing that kind of thing. And that gives you a good visual indication of where you are. You don't have to go down and click on the tanks or anything. You can just look and see how many lights are on. Okay, where were we? Lab efficiency. Let's do advanced electronics next. Okay, so we need to set up coal and sulfuric acid. Let's do the sulfuric acid first, because that'll be an easy one. For plastics, we said we needed 12, so I'm going to craft some more of these chemical plants. I'll do another 5. And for the sulfuric acid, we just need 1 of each. 1 sulfur and 1 sulfuric acid. So I'll set those up here. Let's do sulfur. This one will be sulfuric acid. Okay. We're going to need to get some water down here. So let's look at our map and see where our closest water source is. And it looks like it's back here at our main base. So let's run some pipe for water. And like I mentioned before, we're going to need water for advanced oil anyway. So what I'll do is I'll run a line for water along our bus. And that way we'll be able to use it for multiple uses. Okay, let's get a straight one. Underground, and I'm just going to line these up. So looking forward to that click and drag feature for underground pipes and belts. Where are we? Okay, we've got a ways to go yet. That's going to be a really nice feature. Yeah, okay. That one's done. Let's do robotics now. So we're teching up faster than our factory is really able to take advantage of it. But that's fine. Better to have it done before you need it than the alternative, which is to want it and have to wait for research to get done. And we're probably overdoing our research capacity a bit. I'm just going to come down a little bit so that I don't interfere with our coal line. Let me make an offshore pump, and I need to pick up some more pipes so that we can finish that line. See how we're doing on crude oil. Yeah, crude oil is completely full. Like I mentioned before, that's going to fill up pretty fast with the insane resources. Might want to extend that concrete path all the way down. I think we'll do that a little bit later. Okay, so let's finish this water pipe so that we can get our sulfuric acid going. And right there looks like a good place. We'll place our pump right there, a couple straight pipes. Okay, and we have water. So I'm just going to follow this pipe all the way back just to make sure we didn't miss any sections. So we're looking for that little blue water icon everywhere we go. So far it looks good. Okay, robotics is researched. Before we do more robots, I wonder if we need something else. We've got efficiency module 1. We can't do 2 yet. So yeah, so let's keep working on robots. We'll do construction robotics next. Okay, now we have water there. And we have water there. Okay, so we'll put a power line down here. There we go. Pop in a light. Lights are always nice to have. Okay, so now we have sulfur. And like we did with the other ones, I'll set up a little tank, or array of tanks. I'm going to use 4 tanks. We'll just kind of standardize that. Let's go grab some iron. There, we can see we're at our second light now, as that tank's filling up. Okay. Construction robots are done. Let's do logistics robots. Let's see, 3 more. And I'll just put those right here. I'll put like that. Okay. And we need iron plates. So let's get a line of iron plates run down here. We'll just put it right here. Okay, now this is our, we don't need to go underground around the pipe bus because it's already itself underground. We do need to go underground there. And let's see. Okay, that's good. Now I think the rest of these, we're going to need blue science, which we don't have yet. We can do automated construction. I like to have blueprints even if I don't have robots yet, especially when we start laying out solar, because there we go. Do I need to do that? Yeah, that one's directly in the way. Sorry about that. Because it helps to lay things out. You can use blueprints to kind of put a shadow on the ground of what you want to set up. So when we're doing our first solar setups, we might not have robots yet, but we can use the blueprints to lay it out and then just manually place things down. All right, splitter there. Oh, need more splitters. And another splitter there. Okay, so now we have iron. Do I need a fast inserter or a slow inserter? All right, yellow inserter will be fine. All right, so let's wait for that to get down here. Make sure it's running. Okay. Yep, and our tanks are starting to fill up. Okay, so we've got that taken care of. Next, we need to set up plastic. Okay, automated construction is done. Let's see here. Most of our other upgrades are oh, sorry, I was on mute there for a second. We can do explosives, so let's get that started. We will need that. Okay, so I'm just trying to think about where I would like to put plastic. And I'm thinking here to the left would be a good idea, because that way we've got plenty of room down here to expand and off to the east to expand. So, so let's do that. We're going to need to clear away some trees, so I'll get my tree removal tool here. otherwise known as a hand grenade. Okay, let's research landmines. I doubt we're going to use any, but we'll get that off of our list. Okay, so plastic is going to take petroleum and coal. We'll do gates. Okay, so we'll set it up here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just thinking here if I want to do 6 and 6. No, let's do it like this. All right, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, I changed my mind. I do want to do opposing lines. So let's do 2 opposing lines of 6. I think that'll just be a neater layout. There. And then we'll run the output this way. I think I put those too far apart, did I? Yeah, I did. I need to move these down by 1. Let me lay the belt first. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. So these will all be plastic. I've seen some really well laid out plastic setups, you know, on Reddit and other places where on the Factorio forums. And for some reason, I'm just not, I don't know if it takes artistic talent or something to come up with those really nice looking layouts. I'm not that good at it. I wish I was. I get jealous. Okay. Let's do bullet shooting speed. Get that researched. Okay. So let's bring in petroleum. And I like to set it up this way. And we're going to need to have coal coming in from the side like this. So we're going to have to make sure that we have room to put an inserter. Oh, ran out of belts. Okay, let's go grab some more belts. Should probably move, well, we'll move our belt production eventually over to the main factory, away from the smelting area. Eventually we'll set up a little place where we can make yellow belts and inserters and underground belts, and eventually we need to make red ones and blue ones as well. Of course, once we get robots set up, we won't have to run around for them. The robots will bring it to us. Okay, so that's where our coal is going to come in. Now these go at a speed of 1, and they use 1 coal. So we can use yellow inserters. They will be fast enough. On the output side, we need blue inserters, because they make 2 plastic bars per second. Make some more of those. Okay, I'm going to put down a few lights. Bullet shooting speed 2 is done. Let's do shooting speed 3. Okay, so let's get our petroleum fed in. All right, we'll do it like this instead. Let's see how this works. Okay, I think that's a pretty good layout. Let me do the other side like that as well. Pick up these pipes we put down previously. All right, so we do an underground there. 2 undergrounds in the middle, 2 in the middle, and then 1 there. Straight pipes, and then underground pipes. Okay, now in this case we need to get petroleum up there. So if I can move that power pole, do that, then we can run petroleum up this way. And across. Okay, yep, that'll work fine. There we go. And I want to get all the petroleum from the tanks rather than directly from the refineries. I just want to have everything going to the tank first and then out. So anything going out, I want to pull from the tanks rather than directly from the refineries. That would have been a straighter path, but I want to do that. Okay, so let's just get our coal down here. So we'll just have a splitter like so. And let's look at our map again and see, I guess that is our closest coal deposit. Check for aliens while we're at it. We still just have those worms there. So I think we're safe from aliens for the time being. And let's look at our power as well. Okay, we're starting to get to our limit on power, so we may have to add another line of steam engines. Okay, so let's run a belt for our coal. Cut down some trees where we need to. But again, not too many. We want to keep the trees around as much as possible. Sometimes it's hard to see if the belt is actually making it through the trees. But we'll find out soon enough if we've got any gaps. We'll have to just make sure that our coal gets sent over. Okay, let's see here. Okay, shooting speed 4 needs blue. We can start doing those logistic slots, but we're not going to need those for a while. Let's do flammables. All right. So I'd like to set up some dedicated mining drills for plastics. And I'm not sure exactly how many we're going to need. What is the output of these things? Is it 1 per second? If it's 1 per second, then we're going to need 12. because we have 12 of those machines. Okay, we're going to need rocketry at some point. Grab some iron. All right, let's see if we can set up 12. I'm not sure if we have quite enough room here to do that. One, 2, 3, 4. That's 7. So we need 5 more. Oh, here they are. 1, 2. Okay. All right, what else can we do with red and green? Alien technology, surprisingly enough, doesn't need blue. Science. So we can actually start making purple science packs before we make blue ones. Okay, so that's 6 and 6. That gives us the 12 that I think we need. Could be wrong about that, but we'll adjust it later if necessary. Now, why did I do that? I got too much space in there. There we go. All right, let's see where our belt is over here. Okay, yeah, we can bring it down. Now, if we add more steam engines, it will be up here. So let me just make one steam engine to make sure we leave ourselves enough room there. And we'll run our coal belt above it. All right, so I'll just put one there. Is that lined up? Yep. Okay. Yeah, so our belt of coal to the plastic is going to have to be, let's say, right there. I don't think we're going to need any more steam engines than that. So I think we'll be safe at drawing a line in the sand here at that point. I'm going to put that in my inventory. Okay. Let's take that one out. There we go. All right. And one more tree gone. There we are. Okay, now we just need to put some power down. Okay, now we have coal for our plastic. Let's just go and make sure it's all making it there, like I mentioned before. And we'll do that just by running along the belt. Okay, yeah, I think we've got a full belt, and we should start seeing some plastic come out of here shortly. Okay, and then plastic will need to run up here towards wherever we decide to make red circuits, which I think will be just to the east of our pipes and so forth. All right, so let's just make sure that our plastic gets going, and then we can start to think about our next phase in our project here. All right, and we have plastic. This is going to start to eat up our petroleum very quickly, I'm sure. So before too long, we'll expand this. But like I said, Foreman is not a great tool to figure out how many refineries and so forth we're going to need. So I'll have to do some of my own calculations on that and make sure that we get that set up in order to support all this plastic and sulfuric acid that we have going here. Okay, but it looks like for now we are in good shape. That's going to be it for this episode. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon.